All right, guys, welcome back. Survival Living here. So we need to discuss some of the things that are going on currently in our country and across the globe that may be coming our way eventually. Now, one of the first things I want to discuss is the current stuff going on over there in Ukraine. We are sending tanks, a lot of tanks, and I believe they're the Leopards. Russia has made its threats about us aiding with weapons, intelligence, things of that nature to aid in the war effort against Russia. With that being said, I'm sure you guys have seen it in the news. Russian naval ship spotted off of Hawaii. I think it was like 30 miles. And the U.S. Coast Guard first reported on this about 4 days ago, 5 days ago, somewhere around there. Now, is that expected? Yeah, it is. I mean, if I was a invading force on, in middle conflict trying to watch my adversaries, yeah, I'd have a surveillance ship out. I'm also seeing reports from other YouTubers that there is Russian ships off the East Coast. Now, I want to be clear, I have not confirmed this, but the sources I heard this from, I originally heard it from Canadian Prepper's YouTube channel. He did a video, I believe it was last night. Should be a pop-up there for you guys. I do recommend you sit through that entire video and listen to what this man has to say. Now, he got that news from another individual, I believe it was Green Greg's, also a great YouTube channel. If you have not been over there, please make sure you check out his content. I have not been able to confirm that there's anything off the East Coast as far as a naval vessel belonging to Russia. My concern with this is the staging points. I wish that we could find out if there's anything in the Gulf, because one of the first things we talk about with an EMP blast is 3 missiles, West Coast, East Coast, and the Gulf. They say it would take 3 high-altitude nukes to do a cascade across the entire United States EMP blast, knocking out everything. Now, is this something that is going to happen? I don't know. I'm not here to scare the crap out of anybody. If you're a prepper, you should be prepared for as many things that can be thrown your way. All right? I do recommend making sure that your prep's in order. I do encourage you to make sure you have food and stuff, all your supplies stocked up. I do. This is not the time to be playing around with it. There is too much beating of the drums as far as the war drums. As a matter of fact, I believe they just bumped up the doomsday clock to 90 seconds to midnight. Most of this is because of the war with Ukraine, the whole conflict over there. Now, many people don't put much stock in that prediction doomsday clock. There's nothing wrong with not believing in it. I mean, it's just people analyzing and making a suggestion saying, hey, we're pretty close to something major happening. But it is something to look at. Now, bringing things back here stateside, here in America, we're seeing more and more violence. There was another active bang-bang. Man, it's just non-stop with this. It's not stopping. Same with the attacks on these substations. That's not stopping either. We took a look at that when we first started this channel about 4 years ago, and actions against substations, power stations, happened before I ever started doing YouTube. I mean, it's been happening. I believe that was covering one in Los Angeles or somewhere in California at the time. And we looked at it. Today I was driving in town. I was dropping off some stuff at the UPS store, and I passed one of our water treatment facilities. For years, it's just been a grass lawn. This was out in Southport, Florida. Today, they've got a black fence gate up, and they were installing barbed wire on the top. 3 strands. I'm happy to see that. It is a water treatment facility, and that they were doing some type of precautions on this thing. I think they need to do a lot more precautions as far as any of these infrastructure facilities. They need to have people at them. Now, I know it's going to cost the cities more, towns more, having actual personnel on property, but this stuff is what services our communities. Our water treatment facilities, our power stations, as far as substations. I believe most power stations have their own security, but the substations. I know people might say, yes, a little extreme. I don't think it is. I don't think it's extreme at all. Now, with the substations, yes, that can be taken out from a long range. It can. But for the ill-equipped and unexperienced, it'll put a stop to a lot of it. But I think this is going to uptake. We're going to see a lot more with cyber hacking into our grid. Guys, just be ready. We talk about alternative power. You don't have to do anything we show you on the channel. I went from everything from building your own solar grid to those solar generators. You know, if you are on medical equipment that sustains your life, or you have to run a small mini fridge, or even one of those igloo coolers, should be a pop-up there for you, that uses DC or AC to keep medication cold. How are you going to do that when the power's out? Now, we show all kind of different solar generators. I'm not here to sell you one. We're trying to show you cost-effective ones, you know, that won't break the bank. And then we show you the heavy-duty ones that, you know, they're not cheap. Those are options, okay? Those are options. You can look at that. You can build your own solar grid. I've shown that, just getting the right batteries, inverters, charge controllers, and solar panel. You can build your own. I mean, you can build a small unit, couple batteries, and it'll last you a good while. Depends on what you're running, for $600–700. Yeah, a good battery, about $162 for like the ones that we use for our solar grid. And if you use the lithium ions, you know, lithium batteries, you're going to be paying about $500 a pop. But they're lighter weight, they last longer, so the choice is yours on that. I believe you need to have alternative power. You have to have a way of lighting, and I really want to push on lighting up your yard when it comes down to contact. If you have night vision or IR capability, yes, you want it dark as can be, that way you can see them and they can't see you. But if you don't have the capability of having floodlight systems that you can throw on and power up, it's going to be great. Especially even those little solar lights. We just recently did a review on one. Those are inexpensive. You can put them up on different points of your property. That's instant light when someone comes into your yard. Now, having that light gives you a field of range you can take out a threat. But I do want to stress out, you need to make sure that you have a way out if you get overwhelmed. I know, I see it all the time. People say, well, I'll just go down in a blaze of glory. Well, that's your choice. Me, I'm trying to protect my family as long as possible, and that means moving my family and my group from location and coming back around and hitting them when they're not paying attention or asleep. Yeah, then again, it might be a force we cannot deal with, and we have to move on. I value our human lives over any of the stuff that we have. But this is also why we try to teach outdoor survival, living with nothing. I believe we all need to be working on many different skills. I'm not saying go run out to the woods, because if you don't have the skill set for it, you odds are will perish. But if you train your body, you can do a lot more. Okay? Now, with the civil unrest stuff we're seeing, on top of the active bang-bangs, please don't put yourself in situations where you're going to get caught in the middle of these protests. Don't do it. You don't know when they're just powder kegs, and they are politically driven. It's all staged up, just like when we used to see the pallets of bricks dropped off right before the protesters made it to those locations. Pallets of them. Nobody has seen what vehicle dropped them off. Nobody knows anything, but there they are, right there, big old pile of bricks. Pallet of bricks. All this stuff's planned. Please don't put yourself or your family in this dangerous situation. Now, if you are in a situation, something like that erupts, get your family out of there. Get them out. All right, you are outnumbered massively. Take care of your families. Now, when it comes to food, water filter, medication, you're going to need medication. We pop off something major with China. Most of our medication is not even made here. The fact is, most medication And supplies that we get at the store, everything that you buy is manufactured in different locations. Everything from the bags that it's stored in to an O2 absorber that gets put into that bag, or the can that it is made in. Everything is dispersed across countries. So a major conflict affects all of this. The fact is, and I see it all the time, you need to buy local. The fact is, our local warehousing production industry has been split apart this country and everywhere else across the globe. Now, there are some places here in America that you can buy certain type of items that's manufactured, produced right here. But a lot of our stuff is manufactured, produced, distributed worldwide, and it's all kind of different people at play and companies. So get what you need now. Get that stuff stockpiled up. Do I know when something major is going to happen? No, that's why I'm a prepper. All right, I prepare for when it does. You know, for years we talked about $5 a week, get you food. Personally, I believe you need to be spending more than that, stockpiling your normal food first. That's a rotational stock. This is what we've covered many of times on this channel. Rice, beans, flour, pasta, sugar, the list goes on. Your normal staple foods. Mylar them up, vacuum seal them up, whatever. All right, we moved to Mylar because it just lasts much longer, more durable. But do whatever you want to. Just get that food secure. Canned goods last a very long time. Cheap is cheap. Well, it won't be cheap for long. But right now, while the getting's good, and we already see the uptick in prices, it's not going to go down. I went and got gas this morning. It had dropped down to $2.82. Yesterday, it was $3.49. Overnight. Yeah. Prices are going to be bouncing around on us a lot. You know, we talk about inflation, depression, recession. They'll never call it. We can look at the politics of our country. They will never call anything what they are. Just like when they sit there and do the whole gender thing. Well, I identify this, and you know what? I identify that I'm rich, or I identify that that gas does not cost that much. It doesn't matter what you think and believe. It's the facts in front of you. The facts are prices are going up. The facts are fuel is going up. If you're reliant on fuel for like a normal generator, gasoline generator, diesel, propane, tri-gas, get these fuels stocked up. All right. Now, many people tell you many different things with gasoline and stabilizers. I go with the manufacturer's recommendation and length. That's what I go by, because if I tell somebody it's going to last 4 years and it don't, then it's on me. Okay? So you can get gasoline and you can get those stabilizers, and depends on the storage, you can get anywhere from 6, 8 to a year. 6 months, 8 months to a year, how long that gasoline will last. And again, comes to storage. If you got it where it's out in the sunlight, it's out in an outdoor building, and the gasoline jug's bloating and it's shrinking back down when it's cold, or sucking pressure, negative vacuum, that gasoline is not going to last as long as having it climate control or having it in better conditions. Please don't store gasoline in your homes. Don't do that. Please don't do that. But if you're stockpiling fuel, make sure you check your local laws in your area, because you can also get hemmed up for having stockpiles of fuel in a residential area. Now, I know what they don't know won't hurt them. I know that. I know that philosophy. I'm just saying, watch your rear end. Don't get hemmed up with fines, fees, or possible misdemeanor jail time on stupid stuff. All right, your family needs you. Right now, you need to be buckling down, just like we're doing here. We live what we preach. We show you what we do. Keep stockpiling. Please put other supplies in different locations, just in case you have to leave your situation. If you know you live in a big city, but your friend 20 miles down the road lives in a rural area, and he's a real good friend, talk to him. Hey, I've got a lot of supplies, and is it right if I store a lot of this stuff here in your wherever? Tell him what's going on. There's your bug out location from where you're just at. Gives you an evacuation in case masses start coming up on your home. Or you could do like we. Get a spot away from everything. That's our location. We can travel there. We've already timed out, mapped out multiple routes, either by vehicle or by foot. So we know exactly how long it's going to take us. We also have our supply drops in between in case something bad happens. Everything from medical to defensive tools, water filtration, food. Make sure you have supplies in place for your family. Now, I'll keep on getting asked what's going to happen in case a foreign military was to invade America. I'm going to tell you guys this. You hit them as hard as you can. That's what I'm going to tell you. Work with your groups, build up your community. There might be you have to bug out of your location because the forces are too much. You're going to have to do hit and runs. But if a foreign military is on our ground, hit them just as hard as you can. All right, guys, keep on prepping. I'll speak to y'all later.